Hey, what's going on, fellas? Ninja B-Rob. Just want to say, glad you guys are back. Excited for season 5. You guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. Holla at your boy.
Welcome, everyone, to Season 5. Oh, we're going to do that every episode.
It might happen all season.
Season 5 of the Juggalo Rewind podcast. My name is Peter. I'm here with Chris. What is going on, sir?
Nothing. Fully refreshed, fully recharged. We're here. It's college football. Oh, it's season 5 of the Juggalo Rewind. Sorry, yeah. And I'm ready to roll. We had a little break.
There's a little twinge in the air.
Yeah.
The leaves are just starting to turn.
Yeah.
And it's season 5.
You could feel the season of the pumpkin rolling in throughout the... That's not season 5. No. Not giving anything away. Just you can feel it in the air of the pumpkin rolling through.
Season 5 upon us. We've taken a little bit of a break, but we'll get into that in a minute here. We just want to remind everyone who we are, just in case maybe you're a first-time listener. You saw what Season 5 is all about and you jumped right in. So we're going to remind everyone who we are and why we're here. We call this the 5 W's.
We call it, you know who we are, but you don't know why we're here.
Who we are, I'm Peter. That's Chris, as we already established. Yeah. We are here, and we do this because, I don't know why. I don't know why us, but we are just two middle-aged assholes who have lived
middle-aged and crazy like a fox.
Who have lived in Metro Detroit area for the better part of all of our lives. And we're not saying we're any better than anyone else. We don't know more than anyone else, but we just try to give a different perspective than other podcasts.
We just want to document the Juggalo culture for history. You know, when the aliens come and dig up this crusted old rock, they find the old hard drive here full of all the seasons, and they know what Juggalo music's all about.
We want to put it to record.
Yeah.
Stories that we've seen and heard, things that we've gathered, people that we've talked to.
People we've gathered with.
Whoop. And just piecing together timelines and, for historical purposes and teaching purposes.
Yeah.
So that is who we are. What do? We discuss a different season. Well, for every season, we discuss a different album.
Yeah.
So if you go back in our archives, man, this grows every year now.
Yeah.
Season 1, we talked about Twisted's Most Tasteless. Season 2, we did Tales from the Lotus Pod. 3 was Wizard of the Hood. 4 was
One
Blaze.
Less G.
One Less G in the Hood. And we sprinkled in a Christmas and a Halloween.
Yeah.
Some goodies in there, but we go album by album, track by track. So every episode you get is going to be a different track on said album. And we deep dive into stories, lyrics, what was going on in that era, a whole bunch of different stuff. So, and all of our other nonsense.
Yeah.
So
pop culture, everything of that nature.
Things of that nature.
College football gets sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah, Sopranos references and wrestling here and there.
Seinfeld will show up.
Oh, jeez. When we try to drop this every Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you're coming to work or you are getting out of bed and rolling into the basement like Chris does because he doesn't actually go to work. And on Thursday morning, 6 or 7 o'clock, it'll be right in your inbox.
That's before I'm awake.
Well, that's why we set the time.
Depends on the kids.
Where can you find us? Lots of different places.
Yeah, everywhere. You
can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's Apple, Spotify, Google, Podbean, or YouTube. You can watch us.
Yep. Sometimes that's a little behind the schedule, but we get it there.
You can do what do with that as you will. Also, what the where is following us on all social medias, which definitely. We'll talk about. But every form of social media, we're out there in some form or fashion. Why do we do this? I guess we talked about this with the who, but why do we do it? Because we want a definitive discussion. As my computer makes a ton of noise, I will unplug that. We want a definitive discussion of the albums by two, I don't want to say normal people, but
Juggalo historians, as I like to dub myself.
We're not like... we'll just fight through. It'll stop in a minute. Just two average fans, again, from Metro Detroit, who are here to recall the memories, whether it's, you were a diehard 30 years ago, whether you're a new fan, whether you fell out and you just want to get back into the nostalgia, we're here to just teach and
document.
Yeah.
So those are the two.
That is why we do it.
The T&Ds.
I mean, why did we start? That's a good question. I think we had a wrestling podcast and we just figured it would be fun to do a Juggalo podcast.
Yeah, and there's so many wrestling ones, and we tried doing something different with it, but you kind of get lost in a shuffle. And then we're like, you mentioned a Pearl Jam and Prince one that kind of we're documenting it, and we're like, no one does that for the Juggalo world. We should do that one by one, track by track. Yeah, not in chronological order though. We just kind of pick and choose as we go.
And there are other Juggalo podcasts out there who we are friendly with, and we'll talk about them all later because we have a nice little community. But
it's like the seeds of the lotus of the podcast community.
We haven't gotten kicked out of this one yet. So that's another story for another time. There's still time. I mean, I'm an angry young man, so they may kick me out. But yeah, every one of them, we'll just say it. Every one of them does something different. So you have ICP with a Wii, went chronologically with a seasoned fan and a brand new fan. Yeah. So that was a different take. Juggalo Judgment goes CD by CD. I don't think in chronological order, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Then the Underground Table deals with... They're doing interviews now. They're interviewing each other on there, but they also do everything underground and or just new music coming out. Yeah. So it's like a teaching, if you will, of the new school. And... you have Mushy Mustard, who just the glue of the whole situation. So that is who we are and what we do. This season, we're not there yet. We're going to tell you what season we're doing in just a minute. But for the people who have been with us for multiple seasons already.
A couple of years now.
Yeah, geez. Yeah. Season 5, we want to tie up a little from the past. So do you want me to do a little, or you want to take care of your mail first?
Oh, yeah, we did get some fan mail.
We talk about, and this will all come at the very end, we talk about how to get in touch with us, whether by phone, email, voicemails, texts, social media, all different ways. Today, today, we received...
actual fan mail from a very famous fan, mind you. He makes an appearance over here on the table.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there he is. He doesn't have a figure, does he?
No, that's what should be our champion, the champion of figure from. I'll get to it here. It says, Dear Juggalo Rewind, I want to reach out and extend my sincere gratitude mainly to Chris. Thank you. For dropping my name a few episodes in the Juggalo Rewind podcast. A friend of mine recently turned me on to the show, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear my name dropped in a few of your episodes. I am happy that I've been able to provide you with entertainment over the years, and it brings me great joy that people still recognize and care about my accomplishments in the wrestling business. I wish you nothing but the best in the future and cannot wait to hear more episodes. I have included my WWF rookie card, unsigned, as I feel you'll appreciate it more one day when we finally get to meet in person. I can sign it for you then. I only had one left to provide, and it goes to Chris. If the other guy, Peter, was more of a fan of mine, I would have done the legwork to track down another card, but he seems he just doesn't care for my body of work. Make sure you go give yourself a pat on the back today, and every day for that matter, for all your accomplishments. Sincerely, Barry Horowitz. And I'm going to believe this is really from Barry himself.
I mean, of course, it's signed.
It's signed right there.
The envelope said BH.
It said BH from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or something like that.
It's got to be.
Yeah. So thank you, BH Horowitz. He's on the table today. His rookie card. It came in a protective sleeve, too. What a gentleman.
And someone asked, but do you want to tell the quick backstory on why we were talking about him? Do you even remember?
Anytime we've referenced something, I get it right and you get it wrong. I think that's what it is.
So it's only happened once or twice?
So enough times for Barry Horowitz to catch it. So give yourself a old Barry Horowitz pat on the back when you get something. The other person doesn't. So, thank you, Barry.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Horowitz. Maybe we'll have him at Astronomicon.
We should have him as a guest. Interview him about Juggalo albums.
We should get a major bendy of him.
That could happen. I could see that happening.
Another way to get a hold of us, instead of by actual snail mail, is voicemail. We'll say it again later, but the number is 810-666-1570. I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah, I don't.
And we have a couple voicemails, and they all go backwards a little bit, so I think this is a good time to kind of tie up real quick. Let's go to Denver Chris. He is talking about our last season, which was Blaze You Dead Homie. So let's see what Chris has to say.
Food for thought. Anybody Killer is the pulp of Psychopathic Records. You like some pulp, but not this much. You know, features, a song here and there, but we don't need, nor did we ever need, full-blown records from this guy.
Okay, I'm going to stop that because he gets more disparaging as it goes on.
ABK gets a lot of stray bullets in this podcast. Not from us, mind you.
No, he does not deserve it. It's all in good fun, but that's more of a reference to Tony Soprano liking some pulp.
Yeah.
Not full pulp.
Froze it.
Insert that clip. So that's Chris talking about ABK.
Did he get into Georgia later on? Hopefully not.
No, I don't think he did have another one that I didn't play about what seasons we should be doing during the 4-week suspension. So let's see. We have Blade, who we are friendly with. He is one of the hosts of the Underground Table.
That's right.
He always hangs out with us at Astronomicon. So he is listening in order, but he's a little behind. So now we're going even further back.
Hello, Juggalo Rewind. I know you're in the middle of Blaze season right now, but I'm in the middle of the Violent J season.
All right.
Just wanted to shout out the fact that you're teaching me a lot of stuff, especially about the Wiz and all the things that Violent J has stolen to make a good album. Cannot believe a lot of this album is just stolen, and it's just, he makes it good. But just wanted to give you a well wish to you and yours. I love you both. I hope things are going well. I will see you at Astro. Hit me up on the internet. You know where to find us. And for anybody who listens to this, if they ever post it, you are now listening to the Juggalo Rewind podcast. Thank you.
A nice little plug at the end.
Right. Thank you, Blade.
I don't know if he did. Actually, Jay himself says he stole it in the credits, but he does do a good job of making it work for the Wizard of Hood.
You go back to season 3 and listen to that, but we love that CD. It's just he did steal.
I didn't know that either until I knew there was Wiz stuff, and then I finally watched the Wiz. I was like, holy shit, just straight up the songs.
Whole thing. We have one here from Ryan, a.k.a. The Beard from Ohio.
Boo.
What up, Joe?
Can't say that, can he?
Season.
I don't think he can.
Listen to the last episode of today, the wrap-up. Fucking awesome.
Thank you.
What a ride. From January to July, that's fucking insane. Fucking great interviews.
Yes.
I'm thinking next season it has to be ITV.
Oh, he's calling a shot.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's either going to be Carnival Carnage, Drink Master, something from those days.
Good guesses. We're not there yet.
We have gotten excited about that stuff.
Joe in Cleveland, that was the shit. They brought out Madrox and Oxide and ABK in the old school, just call, paint, and then he wore a flannel. Stuff like fucking one less t-shirt.
Why didn't we go to that show?
I know.
They did their parts.
We missed out.
That was really cool. They didn't do After Fusion, though.
I wonder why.
Yeah, we didn't.
Thanks again for another great season. Can't wait to hear what's next. And have a good day and good weekend. Mr. Peter and Mr. Chris.
Formal.
The greatest Juggalo podcast to ever fucking exist.
Well, that needs to be a
And
tagline.
if you don't like it, fuck off. Hope you liked it.
That should be our outro.
I know,
on every episode.
I want to mix in all those in there.
Well, he doesn't have to wait long because we're here.
We are in season 5, and soon, within the next 10 minutes, you're going to understand.
It'll all be explained.
It'll all be explained in the books. What? All right, and then one last voicemail. I won't play this whole thing because it goes on for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but you'll get the idea from one of our favorite listeners. I don't even think he's a listener. I think
have no idea.
His name is Schizo.
He must be if he calls.
What's up, the Schizo right in, man? You want to say something to me?
Oh, hi. Say
something now.
You asked me
They found
Is it a hostage?
I wouldn't say it's a hostage. It's probably a willing participant. We'll be talking about that later in this episode or next
Sing
year.
your song, Main Rider.
What song?
Main Box SquarePants.
Oh, Reindeer Rider. He's the king of the street. Eating donuts after Krusty Krab just can't be
A Krusty Krab song?
The dog is sweet and the smile so wide. He's living the life and he's doing it right. That's like
So we got a little story to tell. There was these, like, just a minute ago, there was these kids with, like, pink bandanas on, looking like breast cancer awareness month or some shit.
That's good.
And they were singing, like, 1-877 cars for kids, right? And they were fucking wearing cars. So I call Cars for Kids, and the lady's like, is possibly some other, what the fuck outside?
You got distracted quick.
This goes on for like 2.5 minutes, so we'll cut that off there. But this is what we get in our voicemail. So
I love we start saying 1-877 cars for kids.
yeah, he always gets distracted in the middle. It wasn't the one where it was like super cold.
Yeah.
There's something where he went off on a different tangent. So,
Hell yeah.
Those are our
Keep
fans.
calling Schizo. I
Yes.
love it.
If you are one of those fans, we love you.
Yeah.
So.
Join this season. We need more. Let's add to the fatter whack pack, as we like to call them.
I forgot. They're the fatter whack pack. Before we keep going with this, do you want to dive into another one of our favorite bits, the YouTube? Just real quick, or do you want to save that?
It's probably been a lot since
we can go through it real quick.
Since season 4.
So we, as a group being me and Chris, share a YouTube account for the Juggalo Rewind. And sometimes when we're on our phones or our families are using our YouTubes, we don't realize it's on here or that it's on this account. So every couple weeks we go through and we flip through and see what the other person was watching and doesn't remember. And we're going to have a ton on here, so let's make it quick.
Yeah.
Comedian roasts Trump, DeSantis. So
I don't remember this at all.
All right. Well,
I might have accidentally clicked on something recently.
Mitch McConnell's response on re-election run.
I watched that. It was the clips of him freezing, like having strokes mid.
Come on.
They spliced it together and made it some weird music video.
Did you see that today? It happened again.
Yeah, that's what made me click on it. He just keeps going, and they just keep playing that over and over.
When I say there are 20 in a row of Michigan football, but they're just quick.
Yeah, it's
Michigan, UConn, Michigan, Hawaii, Illinois, MPSU.
So MGoBlog has their position previews, and in the previews they have embedded videos of plays throughout the last season that they're had. So
well, goddamn, there's 20 of them in a row here.
So I was watching all those while I was reading. A lot of JJ clips.
Local fry.
Don't know.
I have no idea what that is. Kick bounces off Maryland's return man's helmet.
Getting ready for the sicko season.
Oh, here we go. Terry Funk.
Oh.
Is this, you have to toast him now?
Might as well do it now, yeah. The greatest to ever do it. No one will ever be the same. Terry Funk. All-time great guy. Everyone out there, pour yourself a shot if you partake in that thing and toast to the middle-aged and crazy like a fox. Rest in peace, Terry. Go on.
There have to be 24 Terry Funk promos and matches on here that he watched.
I might have been drinking and laughing.
The one from Puerto Rico was funny.
Some funny ones there.
Empty Arena, calling out Terry Taylor. Yeah, there's so many here. Paradigm, Wolf Grays.
Yeah, new videos.
Got some of the Wolf Grays in there. And then for period, so that's good.
Nice Sweetwater shout out. If you've listened in the past, Wax put it out Sweetwater. So if you're, I don't know if we should even let this out of the bag, but if you're coming to town for Fright Fest, right across the street, get yourself the best wings. Action Bronson said so himself.
Yes. Inside the Den.
Oh, the Lions ones. Those are good. Have you watched those at all?
No.
Yeah, they're good.
Lee Greenwood. God bless the USA. that was me.
Nothing wrong with that.
DIY stair makeover.
That's me. I redid the basement stairs down here.
Why I did the God bless the USA, because I listened to the Trump saved the USA. It's like a spinoff.
Spinoff.
Yeah. Or what did you call it before?
Parody?
Parody.
Yeah.
Shooting Daylight Sports with a special camera.
That was
That's
me.
you.
I am the official photographer for my son's flag football league.
More vinyl sheet on staircases. We'll cut this off here in a minute because we'll save some for later. 80s, 90s, and 70s Halloween commercial compilations.
Oh, yeah. Getting in the season, getting in the mood.
Vinnie Mac show. I got a new television.
Have you watched any lately?
I have not.
I watched it more since he's gotten rid of the sex doll than anything.
Zach Galifianakis and Don Rickles. The Shark Steam Mop Pro Cleaner Hack. That was me. Fat Clemenza's Meatballs.
That was me.
Michigan football.
I always, whenever there's a night I'm drinking and wind up on YouTube, it usually will wind up with a little bit of Don Rickles. They had an entire Don Rickles show from Pine Knob in like 93, 94, because he's talking about the OJ stuff. So it's right around there, and it's hilarious, like seeing him just make all the jokes about Midwestern people in Detroit and stuff. He calls out every nationality. Like he just walks around the crowd and is like, what are you? And just makes jokes about everyone's nationality.
Well, that's about it. There's some other sprinkled stuff in there, but you got the hint. So that's what we do.
Not as bad as I thought it'd be.
No, there's a lot that I skipped, so it's okay.
A lot of nonsense.
Yeah, but we'll save it up for later in the season, and we think every other week maybe we'll intertwine different things.
I mean, between college football and spooky season, I'm going to have a lot of stupid shit on there, I know.
Yes.
It's a given.
We got plenty of time for that. All right. So, this is episode 0, so we need to spill the beans.
Yes.
We need to dig deep into the history of our season.
Yeah. Big one.
What is season 5 going to be?
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you right now. And then we cut it.
Yeah.
So, after much debate, do you remember? I
know exactly where we came up with this season.
Sweetwater.
Yeah. Speaking of Sweetwater.
We were at Sweetwater with Rex.
Yeah.
E.G.
Yeah.
And some guy they work with who I have no idea who he was.
I don't know if they don't work with him. It's just someone.
They know him.
Yeah.
I thought because they were talking.
I seen him at SummerSlam. Again, I forgot his name. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. He doesn't listen. Fuck him.
I think he does.
Oh, well then, sorry, good brother.
Yeah. Post Fright Fest little meal, right? That's what it was.
There's no way that Rex was at Fright Fest.
No, it was post The Blaze. That Blaze show.
Oh, yeah. That was a good show. We came up, I don't know how we came up with this, but...
Rex pitched it.
Did
so
he?
this is all his...
So, we are doing the Pendulum CD. Not just the CD.
Not just the CD, yes.
We also have to include the Pendulum comics.
Pete's very excited to dive into the comics.
I can't wait. So, we will dive into this a little more, but we'll just dive into it right now. Fuck it.
Geez, here we go.
So what are we talking, 2000?
Oh, December of 99, I believe, is when the first one, at least was announced, yeah.
The first one was December 99.
Yeah.
So ICP had, well, let's just start from the beginning. Fuck it. I can't.
Sorry. So a little fruit fly buzzing me. It's because I got the sour beer over here.
We'll start from the beginning. Chris is trying to kill something. That's good audio. Good audio and video, everybody. So let's start from the very beginning.
Way back.
1993. Oof. ICP, the Insane Clown Posse, they were about to come out with the Ringmaster album, which they said was going to be a double album, which was real funny.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
17 tracks. And why would you think that would be a double album? I don't know.
Maybe somewhere long. You know, they've been known to stretch them tracks out to 6-7 minutes.
They were promoting that with that, they were going to have their own comic book.
Yeah.
Which is called the Wicked Clowns comic book.
Spelled with a Z, of course.
Obviously. I can't believe that it was that. I mean, it makes sense that it was that early, but just to think it was 93. So theoretically...
They've been around for a couple of years at that point.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely for a couple of years. So they were writing that before Ringmaster came out.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother ball of wax, but a whole nother house of wax.
Oh.
But
out of purpose.
So they Came out with this comic. We'll call it early '93 because I couldn't really find. I'm sure it got delayed.
A clear date.
Yeah, so we'll say early '93. It got re-released, I'd say 94, 95-ish because they, in the back page, they had an ad for the Ringmaster. Mm-hmm. When they redid it, they had an ad for Riddlebox.
Yeah.
And then they repressed it a million times.
I was going to say, I bought it at like the second gathering or something, I thought.
But
like, I can't tell the difference between...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, somewhere.
They did fairly recently, too.
Oh, really?
I don't want to say within the past 10 years. I think it was way soon, like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I thought. I could be wrong.
I mean, it's a good piece of memorabilia.
It's cool.
Yeah. To keep it in circulation, especially something that old.
Yeah. And you always have new fans. So
right.
You might as well circulate it back. So they did a comic book back then. Super popular. Everyone had it back in the day. Different
Vinny
versions.
from Shockumentary had about 10 copies. Pulls them all out. He's like, these are the freshest, man.
Okay.
Talking about working in the toxic waste dumps, how they came to be.
I don't have... Oh, God, I can't do this. So that was their original foray into the comic book
Foray.
world. Fast forward to, we'll call it June of 99. I'm sure that they announced it before then.
Yeah.
They signed with Chaos Comics to come out with a new set of comic books.
Home of Evil Ernie. That's the one I remember from back in the day on Chaos Comics.
Did you see? Give me your number. Do you have your number one?
Yeah. If not, if you order something on Hatchet Gear, they'll send it to you. Those things were like all over, weren't they? All over the place.
I don't think it was in this one. I think it was in the Pendulum one. There's an ad for a Halloween one, and it was called The Blackest Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, that's kind of sweet, actually. It's in one of those.
I have the PDFs of all the Halloween comics. I heard they're really good. I haven't read them yet.
Anyways.
Yeah.
This isn't a comic podcast.
Just a little back story to what Chaos Comics was doing at the time.
So they were coming out with, we will call every couple months of a podcast, of a comic book. So the first one came out, we should preface this, I'm sure we'll say it every time. We say came out in, but truly it's the date on the cover.
Right.
So much like a magazine, it could be a month before or after, but we're going by the date that's on the fucking comic.
Well, on the spreadsheet, I did update when they dropped.
Oh, God.
So we'll have both when we go through the...
Does that throw me off?
Probably. But I could update to have both when we get into the...
I don't know. I'm just going to pretend what we have is right, and I'm not going to change what I did the legwork on. June of 99, we have the Ups and Downs of the Wicked Clowns.
Yeah, what a name. That's a good one.
Ups with a Z, Downs with a Z.
I like that it kind of continues on that original one, though, with the Wicked Clowns.
That's a good call. Basically, we're going to skip right over these three very quickly.
I made some notes for them, though.
Oh. So that, well, okay, then we'll talk about that. Ups and Downs was the foreshadowing of all the Joker cards up to that point, which was the first 4. And then how ICP turned into ICP. Kind of like the original comic, but... Yeah,
slightly different. The original one there, they're tossed in the river and sucked into the waste plant and into drums from there, which I don't know why the waste plants...
Has drums in it? Yeah, how did they end up...
From the water into the drums of toxic waste.
It's kind of funny. It's like the city is like collecting it and then doing something with it.
So. And then in this one, they're cleaning the toxic waste out of the drums and get locked in there by same thing, rich assholes who are doing it to them.
Yes.
This one though follows the same story kind of from Shockumentary because they talk about, remember that guy's cleaning the pools and he's like, they used to love jumping down on the toxic waste, getting all that. And so they continue that story. It's always the toxic waste of Del Rey.
Stop making Shockumentary references because I'm going to have to pull all of these.
Sorry, I love it.
Stop. So yeah, what are your notes on this? I don't know. I thought I summed it up in 8 words, but I guess I didn't.
I just have some random notes. We're discussing the ups and downs. There's a song reference in here. I'll Never Fall in Love Again by Burt. It's probably the Burt Bacharach version when they're in the elevator. I made a note of that, which I thought the Dionne Warwick version is playing in the skit where they have the phone calls on Terror Wheel or Tunnel of Love. Where they're like, they play that song in the background, but it was like, maybe I'm an Irish London man, whatever. I thought they played the Dionne Warwick song, but definitely not, unless it's somewhere else. Other note, I like that they have like the subsidiary record label that signs them in the Ups and Downs is it's kind of Keep It Real Records, but they're owned by Big D Music, and I'm like, it's the Island Disney thing, like turning the story.
That is funny, yeah.
Yeah, that popped me. And then just them having Southwest Voodoo and Watch Your Step to Hell, like anytime they reference I made notes of those.
There's a lot of references of those. Like I just popped it open on the computer.
Yeah.
When Ringmaster comes out, he just says, "Splendid, I have a purpose."
Mm-hmm.
Like
all those little things pop me.
Yeah.
Which, as we discussed the Blaze one last season, when they're using lyrics and songs and painting a picture to it's always fun.
Yeah, lots of Turn the Crank references when What's His Fuck comes out. But yeah, it's the first one is basically, like you said, them getting all their shit together and then all the different Joker cards, kind of their back story.
I did laugh when they show the Inner City Posse playing and they're like getting courted by Keep It Real Records. They're like playing a packed house with like all these lights and shit.
So funny.
That's a comic world. They're all also jacked to the gills in the comic book.
Yeah, that's just Chaos has like a very distinct like look, right?
Right, for sure. A lot going on, very busy. A lot of Fago like sprinkled throughout all the background and stuff, which is funny.
Yeah, there's fun stuff that you can all see like when you read through it. Like there's fun little Easter eggs, if you will. So that's the Ups and Downs of the Wicked Clowns. The cover is just, what's the cover look like?
Also the poster of them jumping out.
Yes. And then
Shaggy holding an axe, and which looks like bones, like a
that's
pitchfork
weird.
of bones, and Jay has two big machetes.
And then there is a variant cover, which is just them. If you're around Jekyll Brothers era, it's just like them sitting in a tile floor, almost like in a shower.
All those photo shoot photos they use like on everything from then.
A million times. So that's the cover variant of that. Skip ahead to September of '99, and then we have the Amazing Jekyll Brothers. It's literally all it's called. No special font, literally just the sticker that came out from. That also has a variant cover, which is just a photo of their two fucking faces.
They came on cardstock, though, so they're a little more expensive. That's what it said.
Right, that I'm not 100%.
Yeah, on the back it has the order form for it.
I don't think it actually has cardstock. So this is the picture. Dude.
Yeah, it's so shitty.
Yeah, it's very Jekyll Brothers era.
Because if you order through Chaos Comics here, the regular version is $5. The photo version is $10.
Well, it's because they know that you're going to buy it.
It said printed on cardstock. The Jekyll Brothers one, limited to 2,500. I believe the Ups and Downs is limited to 5,000.
I'm pretty sure that there's still 4,000 of them floating around. So there's a warehouse with them and Beanie Boys somewhere.
How many regular versions of Ups and Downs are floating around there? Yeah, this one was 5,000. They cut it in half on the second one.
Well, then it's got to be worth twice as much.
Those Ups and Downs, they said with everything.
Those and Beanie Boys, you got with every fucking thing.
I made a note somewhere in one of them in the newsletters. They talk about the Beanie Boys coming out, and they were supposed to be two versions. One with just Twisted ICB, and then the Alex Abyss one was going to be rare and harder to find.
I vaguely remember that.
I did not remember that. That's funny.
Well, they figured it out and came too. We'll just send them all at once. Second one, as we said, is the Amazing Jekyll Brothers, which comes out. When did I say it came out? September of '99. Yeah. So a couple months after the actual album came out.
When did the album drop? It said May in one of the newsletters. But was that?
Yeah.
Was that right?
I was going to say August, but no, I think it was May. Didn't do that much research because this isn't a Jekyll Brothers podcast.
I just thought it came out more in the summer. I thought maybe it delayed some.
So it has Jekyll Brothers backstory, which if you're a fan, you know it's all Jake and Jack and juggling eyeballs, juggling heads.
I think they call him Jack the Sinister and Jake the Just in the book, which I don't remember them ever referenced that in the album.
Maybe in the booklet, but it does lead to like not the one is good and one is bad.
Yeah,
but
one makes the other one juggle your soul, and
if you do something bad, the other one, the bad one, like throws more on the fucking pile or whatever.
I'm talking about Jekyll.
This is terrible. And then it also gets into a backstory now, which
Yeah.
intertwines with the first one a little bit. It's so convoluted, all these like comics, because it's like there's a boss of a boss of a boss of a boss. It's like it never
all for a
ends.
record label too. Like this is a very intricate record label that's intertwined in all sorts of geopolitical happenings.
So the bad guy in this one is called Little D, and spoiler alert, they kill him.
They kill a lot of people, and they're all like sent to hell, tortured by the Dark Carnival. And this point, they're just record execs. Like, I'm sure they are probably shitty people because they're like billionaire assholes. But the story doesn't give anything other than them just trying to sign them to the record label, right?
No, it kind of gets a little deeper than that, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I feel like it does, because even at the end of this one, it goes into the like who's behind all that, and like who's supporting the mayor, and like all that shit. So it goes a little deeper. But again, we can't sit here and talk about all 3 of the fucking first comics. So
maybe a Patreon episode. If you guys really like us talking comics later.
I'd rather not.
Just think of how much you want to have Pete read these 3 comics.
And then the third one is, what's the full name of it? Raise the Deserts of Glass?
Yeah. A little thicker, too, I feel, than the other ones. They're getting into the story.
And then what's the date on that one?
November of 99.
Oh, we're picking up the pace. Here, we find that the mayor is behind all of this now and also hates ICP.
The Manugian mansion looks very nice in this comic, but he's got a big pool. They're doing cocaine around it.
So it's true to form.
Just think if Isham would have won. He would have cleaned up the whole corruption in Detroit.
And then, so they fight their way through the city, blah, blah, blah. They finally kill the mayor because they like bust into his like party, right? Kill everyone there, kill all of his fucking henchmen. But you find out that the mayor is being backed by this other fucking overlord called Kilnor, which now we're getting into the fun, whatever. They kill the mayor, but in the process, Shaggy gets shot. Yeah. And they escape. ICP escapes after they kill everyone. And then you go back to Kilnor. Whatever the fuck. I fucking hate saying this. I'd rather talk about the sex songs than this. And then at the end, he summons his 2 evil beings. Which
from the Nether Void.
Which will debut in the next issue. So those are the 3. I'm sorry. Well, there's the original, and then the 3 Chaos comic. I'm sorry. Did you have another note about the fucking?
No, you can keep going. I'm just looking at them, see if anything funny pops out.
Okay.
Back in the Amazing Jekyll Brothers one, they do have a nice 3-panel drawing of the "I'm not a very funny clown" skit from I think it's Ringmaster, right? Where he's like, "Hey Bozo, come do something funny for the kid." They have they have that in the Jekyll Brothers one, and the very beginning of Jekyll Brothers on the TV, it's playing "Hey, it's a nice couch." Turn that thing off.
That is funny.
A couple good funny things there.
So that's the backstory on the Chaos comics. They do the 3, and then they advertise that coming up is going to be a series of 12.
Yeah.
That is what we are talking about in this season.
Yeah.
It's called the Pendulum. 12 comics every other month. Each one will come with a CD single.
Yeah.
When you put the CD singles together, they make a poster.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
They also first said, "This is the only place you're going to get these songs, and they're all going to be dark." So that's what it said in the preview leading into this.
That is in our notes. Songs were intended to be only available with comic initially.
It starts. Amazing Maze originally starts only in this.
Doesn't Psychopathics from Outer Space come out like...
It's like 2 weeks later.
Well, that was close.
But the first time you could hear it is if you bought that right off the bat. Though they did say the only place you're going to get it is...
And we'll get into, if you're familiar with what we do, each song we'll talk about where else you can find it. So,
as like going through the Wayback Machine and the newsletters and everything, while this coming, they're setting themselves up to fail right off the bat because they're like Jekyll Brothers tour crazy, and then they're like, we're gonna do the Wicked Cons from Outer Space tour, which is fucking insane run. Like, there's no time to actually do any of these songs unless you had these in the can before you put this.
Yeah, you would assume they'd have them all in the can, right?
That would have been the idea, but there's no way they did. They're just like, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's do this. We'll just record on the fly.
Oh, yeah. That always works.
Quickly falls apart.
The other gimmick of this is that if you were a fan back in the 90s and you were in the fan club, you would get a newsletter every couple months in the mail, which are pretty collectible. They're actually really cool. They're well written in an ICP way.
Yeah. They're fun to read.
Yeah. Here, they've taken that away and they're putting the newsletter in each comic.
Right.
So they've done it in these 3 already. We didn't talk about those because we're not deep diving into those, but each Chaos comic, but each Pendulum comic will have a full newsletter, which we will also discuss. The first 5 have variant covers, which we'll talk about. I think it's the first 5. The first 5 at least have Tower Records variant covers.
Yeah.
I don't know if all first 5 have normal variants. We'll get into that as we deep dive. We talked about the CDs. We talked about initially. Did you want to go through the era? Is the era just of the first 3 comics, or is that?
No, the era was like when they started putting these out and where it ends.
To like the end of the comic?
Yeah, so this is kind of just an overview of how long this thing runs. And then I've also, as we get into each episode, I've made notes of like that month, more deep of what is going on in the Juggalo world. But this is more of an overview of what happened in this entire run of Pendulum. Because, you kind of look back now and you're like, oh, the Pendulum, whatever, comic books and CDs. But like, when you look at how long these were coming out, it's kind of crazy.
Just think that there's 12 of them and they came out every other month.
Yeah, so you had a 2-year run.
2-year run.
And a lot of them got delayed and stuff.
Doesn't seem... You're right. It doesn't seem like a 2-year run, but it really runs from 99 to 01.
Yeah, right. They're about to drop the 6th.
I mean, you want to go through all this stuff, or are we going to talk about it on each episode?
Yeah, I could since it's just the overview of. So they start these. The Wicked Clowns from Outer Space tour is going on. As I said, that's instantly train wreck waiting to happen, trying to get these songs together.
Literally their longest tour ever.
Yeah, so they're on the huge, massive Clowns from Outer Space tour, and at the same time recording Bizarre Bazaar. The Shaggy Show starts recording during this tour. JCW decides to go on tour in the middle of all this. It was a small one. It was like...
That was the one that was like the... Yeah.
Yeah.
God, we should... That's all another story.
They dropped Jacob's World, which was a canned food drive. We'll get into that later, whenever that pops up in the episode. But the first gathering happens.
Talk about planning of that, right?
And that was delayed because they originally wanted to do it
in December of 99.
Yeah, in St. Louis, and switched it. And then Hollywood 2000, famous one for the Bizarre Bazaar Freak Show drop. Ray Day happened. Bizarre Bazaar tour, Freak Show tour.
A more fucking
huge tour. Yeah, their tour run from Jekyll through this is bonker schedule. Then they decided to start recording Tales from a Lotus Pot and One Less G. The second gathering happens where Tales, Riding Dirty, Morton's List all released. Then they go on the Hatchet Rising tour, which is another massive tour.
It's funny. Morton's List had to take up Jumpsteady's a ton of his time. Yeah. So, I mean, he's also involved in the comic books, too.
I imagine he probably wrote this story, like a rough outline, and just passed it off.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Yeah, by the time that is going on. Then Forgotten Freshness 3 drops, which has a lot of these tracks sprinkled in. And then they start recording the 6th as we wrap up the Pendulum. So that's... just a little cliff notes of what happens in this entire time.
99 to 01. 2 gatherings, multiple Hollow Wickeds.
Multiple huge tours.
Yeah. That is a lot that is going on.
As we discussed last season, we were saying it was kind of where the family air jumps off, the ball's rolling down the hill. This is where you start forming that ball at the top of the hill. All this stuff is like that jumping off point, and then halfway through it kind of gets full steam.
For sure. Man. We got a lot to talk about this season, that's for sure. And that's going to be something different here. Not that we have to sell everyone in this season, but other seasons we've talked about, okay, this came out at X time. Mm-hmm. And we'd bounce back and forth a little bit.
Right.
But this, we are covering 2 years worth of shit.
Right.
So we're going to have what's going on in the Juggalo world, not in the Juggalo world, where we were at during these times.
Right.
Like, just think about if you were a fan, where were you between 99 and 01? What shows did you go to? What gatherings did you go to? Like, it's not just going to be like, oh, this Hallowicked's around this CD.
Right.
We're going to touch on a lot of different shit here. So
Right.
we have a lot to get to, and we're going to need everyone's help, to give us your input. So
Right.
if you, obviously, you're going to know what's coming up. So if you want to get ahead of it, you're more than welcome to, or we'll catch you up either on the wrap up or
Right.
in each episode.
Yeah, it's a good way to get some voicemails or emails plugged in the season as we go, because
For sure.
you'll know what's on the horizon, and most importantly, we get to cover the comic book. This is gonna be fun.
These episodes we're gonna try to stick to a normal length, but God knows what is gonna happen. I'm already fearing the worst and hoping for the best. Do we really talk about anything else on episode 0? I don't think so. I mean, I guess we could talk about this. We're skipping back a little bit, but we talked about the original comic, the 3 Chaos, 12 Pendulum. There's also 3 after the Pendulum.
That's right. Yeah.
Which I can't say I've looked at. If I did, it was once.
Yeah.
They are Hallowicked, Halls of Illusions, and Mr. Johnson's Head.
Which I need Halls of Illusions and Mr. Johnson. So.
You're such a fucking asshole.
Well, I have the rest. I need to get those too.
I guess we didn't talk about this. I'm sorry, we're jumping all around. But these, why don't we have it in this tab? Come on, Chris, you're fucking slacking. Eventually, after the all of these came out, they came out with all 12 of them in one book.
Oh yeah.
With a CD. With, we will say all of the tracks, not all of the tracks, but we'll get to that. But
that's more of a wrap-up discussion. But
yeah, I mean, so if people wanted this stuff, they could get them one at a time, or there's a one giant pack.
And there was the first 6 were in a graphic novel, and then they went to put out the second one and never released it, I believe.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
So there's a Half Boy sitting out there?
Yeah, there's a trade paperback of the first 6, and then there's a trade paperback of the second 6 never was released, I believe. We'll get to that as we get into the wrap-up. We got 12 weeks to get there, so.
All right. So we will, if you don't have anything else, I can't think of anything else really that we're going to talk about.
I don't think so. Let's see. Let me check my notes.
Check your notes. I will get into our wrap-up while you check your notes. You can follow us on all social medias, as we've talked about. Facebook, X.
That happened since we've...
Instagram, TikTok, and Threads.
Yeah.
All of that is at Juggalo RWD. We try to post nonsense on each one of those when we get a chance. Not so much Threads. Well, I try, but I fail. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. That helps the algorithm. And if you subscribe, you don't have to do anything. We just show up in your mailbox every Thursday morning.
That's right.
So make it easy on yourself. Hit that subscribe button. Share with a friend. That's how we grow. That's how we do more. And more people join our little community here. So if
we see out there all those folks who are on season 1, so in like 6 years when you get to this, hello.
Hello. You're only 3 years behind. Whether your friends are new Juggalos, old Juggalos, or former Juggalos.
Or non-Juggalos who want to know what this weird culture is about.
Put that in there. You always bring that up. I should put that in there. As we said, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, Podbean, anywhere the podcast can be audibly listened to. Or if you want to look at our fucking faces, you can find us on YouTube, which should be at youtube.com. That's at Juggalo RWD.
I believe so.
Or / Juggalo. Yeah, I think it's on there. It's weird. YouTube's weird. Even for who was I listening to? This is Majors today. Their address is different than their tag.
Oh, really?
And they're verified, and they couldn't figure it out. So
I'm sure you just plug us in there. We should pop up in the search, hopefully.
Just search Juggalo Rewind, and we are there. It's 2 ways to find us. You can leave your questions, comments, concerns, or stories. If you want to call us, leave a voicemail, 810-666-1570. You can even text us. And if you're lucky, we will text you back.
Pete, well, I have no idea how to do that.
Text me and I'll text you back.
I only see one way of the conversations. I'm always confused.
Those are always so funny. Or you can email us at juggalorwd@gmail.com. And we'll try to answer those throughout the year, or we save voicemails and emails for the wrap-up if we don't get enough. But if you can see ahead and know we're going to talk about something at a certain era,
Yeah.
drop us a line. Give us a call. Let us know. Website, juggalorewind.com. We're falling a little behind on that, but we'll get that rolling.
Yeah.
Did you have anything in your notes, or are you good?
No. One thing on the newsletter I made a note of, because I have no idea where else we discussed this. They discussed how Twisted's on tour, and they have Jason, Michael Myers, and then it says Leatherface and Pumpkinhead. I'm like, could you imagine a big pumpkin thing out there?
They never did that, right?
No way. We need to pitch that, bring that back for Astro or something. I want to be the Pumpkinhead on stage.
All right. Well, that is it for us. When is this? Now I'm trying to check my calendar. I'm failing miserably because I've been accused of this not being accurate. So I want to make sure that we are doing everything on the up and up, because that is what we do. And I can't move this fucking spreadsheet. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. How was SummerSlam, Chris? I know you went
That was
to
a good
SummerSlam.
time. I had a blast. I wasn't as drunk as Blaze, but I was pretty close. No, I probably was as drunk as Blaze. Good time.
You think he was drunk?
He admitted he was.
Oh.
I guess he went live on like Facebook and was just like hammered. Good times. He wasn't that far from us, I don't think. I seen like the clip. We were drinking on top of the whiskey factory before we got down there, up on the roof. Jacob's like, we got to pay attention to time because the room we had to walk through to get back downstairs is where like the bridal party would wait.
Oh, that's
like,
funny.
if we like lost track of time, we walk in with a bucket of beer from the roof while the bridal party's getting ready.
I'm sure they've seen worse.
Then we wound up in the basement ripping shots and all sorts of debauchery was happening down there.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But I acknowledged my tribal chief, got to see him extend the historic reign. It was fun.
We also got to see old wrestling
that
weekend.
Yeah, that was cool. Good time. I also went to Flophouse Wrestling at Old Miami, which is the greatest spot for summertime wrestling. People just bring lawn chairs, sit outside.
That is funny.
Under the stars. Beautiful night.
What a happening. If you are listening to this live, as we drop it, this weekend I will be in Boston.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Silver Scream. So
lining up your calendar.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure when we were, because these are as live as possible, so I want to make sure that we are accurate with what we say.
That's right.
So yeah, if you're listening to this live, come see me out in Boston. I think I know my assignment, but who knows?
Yeah, come by, say what's up. Maybe you'll have some stickers or pins. Give anyone if they know you.
Yeah, load me up. See if we have anything. And then future, we have Fright Fest, we have Hallowicked, we have lots of stuff. I have a lot of concerts this fall. It's fucking crazy.
I got nothing on my calendar but the Juggalo shit.
God, I have like 5 concerts.
Might go to Danzig in a couple weeks.
That's good.
He's playing the first album front to back, I guess.
That's interesting. Where's he playing?
Masonic.
I'm
Cousin Aaron says he's got a +1 for me. He's got a hookup.
Oh, nice. I'm going to see Tech 9.
Oh, why?
Tech 9 and Hollywood Undead.
Random.
Is it Undead? Hollywood
fuck
Dead.
if I
Hollywood
know.
Undead. Anyways.
You're going for Tech 9?
Einstein. Tech 9.
I like Tech 9. I haven't seen him since Wicked Wonka, but I like Tech 9.
Who else am I seeing? I'm seeing, I'll tell you if you really care.
I don't.
You say you don't care? Well, then fuck you. I won't tell you what I'm saying. All right. That's all we got for now. You know what else is happening?
Oh.
I'm going through a separation. So I am living the bachelor life. So we'll put that out there.
Putting feelers out there, huh?
So, yes. So all three of our female listeners, which I don't even think we have 3. Next week we'll have a Blue Chew read. So you want to have, what do you want to have for, you want to have Manscaped for...
Yeah, I want to shave Zooligans at... That's what... I'm not separated, so I'm going to shave fat, hairy Zooligans.
We're going to have just the typical. We're going to have ball shaving and dick pills.
I'm ready. You Zooligans need to shave, get a little less sweaty out there.
It's going to be the best.
Come see us, hopefully, this year. I'm fucking assholes.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
That no good Joe Black.
Is that his name?
I think that's who.
I forgot all of them. Anyways, that's episode 0. We're talking the Pendulum, and you're going to be here next week. We're starting episode 1, The Amazing Maze.
Yeah. Before you get there,
go
on YouTube, go on the network somewhere, look up Terry Funk. Enjoy Terry Funk till next week.
And can't forget Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I was going through
his
bummer too. Matches as well, so some fucking bangers.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this happens every season, right? We got to talk about who we've lost.
Mm-hmm.
So no one in the Juggalo world.
Hopefully not.
All right, well, that was a downer on the episode. What the fuck?
I was just trying to toast Terry. Big sucking dog.
Oh, my eye, Lance.
My eye, Lance, my eye. He's yellow. He's yellow. Jerry's yellow. Where is he? I told you he wouldn't come.
She watched Beyond the Mat.
I know, I didn't watch that. If I don't get the surgery, can I walk all right? You shouldn't be walking all right now, Terry says to him. I like the very beginning of the empty arena match. Lance Russell sitting there, and he's playing it off like it's not recording, and he lights a cigarette, and he's like, we'll just record it. We'll record it, and if they don't show, they'll just can it. But I'll record it. Get ready. If they show up, they show up. And he's smoking a cigarette. He's like, no, that's okay. We'll record. I'll put out a cigarette. And he's like, here we are. I'm like, so good playing it off like you're not actually.
That is good.
Watch the empty arena match if you've never seen it, because it's top 5 greatest match ever history of wrestling.
Or watch him get kicked in the head by the horse in WCW.
I'm almost to him being commissioner in my WCW run.
We're gonna be spoiler alert. Yeah. We're gonna be talking some WCW wrestling.
I gotta catch up, so I'm live with that.
Which run? The one that we talked about. Oh, we're gonna talk about that next episode.
Yeah, I haven't got to the first one. The first one's just about to start, so
the way they tell it, it's fucking hilarious. So next week we have some wrestling talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, before we get sidetracked again.
Yes. This was episode 0, season 1. Not season 1.
5.
Season 5. We will see you next week for The Amazing Maze.